Hey there, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're live as of Thursday evening at 7:40 and 53 seconds on Facebook, on YouTube. If you're watching this any other time, we are no longer live. Let's get started tonight and talk about this really limited severe weather threat that we're going to see across the tri-state tonight. There's a lot we're keeping our eyes on. There is the tornado watch. They adjusted this about an hour ago. They added Fayette and Union counties in Indiana. They took away Gallatin, Carroll, and Owen counties in Kentucky. And if you joined me on Local 12 earlier this evening, I said, yeah, Fayette and Union County should probably be in this based on radar trends. So Weather Service, they did that. They added Fayette and Union County. We look at ingredients for severe weather, and we've also been telling you we don't have all of them tonight. Moisture was one that was highly in question. We do not have any moisture whatsoever in the tri-state tonight. And if you're looking to avoid severe weather, that's good news. It doesn't mean there won't be severe weather, though. We got plenty of lift and wind shear, strong jet stream energy over the area, a turning of the winds with height that we see, and there's lots of instability out there, at least, well, not lots, but there's some. We hit 68 today in Cincinnati, so it was plenty warm, so we do have some instability around. So when you look at all these, yeah, we got some ingredients, lacking others. It's only a slight risk of severe weather. That's just a level 2 for us, so it's not very high at all. The bigger risk to our west, and so that's the situation we have been seeing with confirmed tornadoes back into Indiana tonight. We're at 61 in Cincinnati. The number I want to point out, though, is that dew point number. That's very important. That's a measure of moisture at the surface, and that number is very low. Typically, for severe weather, you would want a dew point of around 60 or higher. 47 is really, really low. Take a look at radar. Nothing severe out there now. We're looking at some thunderstorms coming up into the greater Cincinnati area as we speak. None of these are severe. We're not concerned about any of this activity. So that's good news. Again, since there's just not a lot of moisture available in the lower levels of the atmosphere, most of what you're seeing here are garden variety thunderstorms. So that's what we're looking at now, lifting into the area. Now there's an exception, and we're going to take you to that exception. Let me zoom in on that exception. There it is. This is a supercell thunderstorm that has had a history of producing confirmed tornadoes across Indiana. They still have a tornado warning on this now for Bartholomew County. That's where Columbus, Indiana is located. Brown County, where Nashville, Indiana is located. And then up into Johnson County, Indiana. So that is a radar-indicated tornado. It is not confirmed any longer. When it was near Bloomington a little earlier, there was a confirmed tornado with it, but no longer a confirmed tornado at this juncture. So I'm going to jump over to this computer because I want to show you the storm in a little more detail. There it is around Nashville, Indiana. This is going to slide up over toward the Columbus, Indiana area right now. So this is one. I'm going to see if I can get a velocity on it here. I want to look at what this is doing as far as a rotation standpoint. This storm has been cycling. So let's use the Indianapolis radar, yeah. So this particular storm, this supercell thunderstorm, has had a history of producing tornadoes. It's been cycling up and down. So you get it to produce a tornado, and then that tornado lifts, and then the storm reorganizes the circulation with it. It does, and then you get it to drop another tornado. So it's in that process right now, but this is going to carry on over. It looks like north of Columbus, Indiana, coming out of the Nashville area. Eventually, Decatur County, Indiana, we're going to be watching it for you. This thing's moving at about 45 miles an hour. So over the next half hour, it carries into Decatur County, Indiana. I'm going to take this out a little longer. It's going to be about an hour before it eventually could impact parts of the Local 12 News viewing area. So we don't cover Decatur County where Greensburg is, but we do obviously cover Ripley County and Franklin County. So we are about an hour away from it getting into our viewing area. So for Greensburg, Indiana, maybe around 8:30. Fugit Township there, right on the edge of our DMA, our viewing area, 8:41. Batesville, 8:47. Laurel, 8:54. So just before 9 o'clock, this supercell thunderstorm may get into our local 12 news viewing area. And so that is a concern. This is the biggest concern we have of the night. This storm, it's looking less organized, though, now. And I'll tell you, as it goes across Decatur County, eventually makes its way toward Franklin County, maybe clipping Ripley County, and maybe eventually going into Fayette or Union County, it's going to encounter more hostile conditions. Conditions that are going to make it way less favorable for this thing to hold together. So the hope is for us, and I say us because meteorologist Dan Campolongo is right next to me, the hope is for us is that this supercell thunderstorm will fall apart. We are seeing signs of that right now. That would be great news, because this is the main storm that we are concerned with. Again, everything else that's lifting through the Cincinnati area, this is all, you see how it's kind of elongated? It's very linear now. This is stuff that is garden variety storms right now, non-severe storms. And again, a big reason for that is the air in the lower levels is just so dry with those 40-some degree dew points. So we're hoping that we can avoid anything too bad tonight. The only thing I'm worried about still is that supercell thunderstorm. But again, it looks like it's beginning to lose its definition. Ann, would you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes. Ann agrees with me. So let's hope that I don't want to think that I'm the only one here. I need another opinion. Two minds are way better than one, especially my mind and Ann's mind. Ann's got a way better mind. There's another storm up here near Indianapolis that looks like, it could clip Fayette County. That has a severe thunderstorm warning with it right now. Let me see if I can bring that warning up. And there it is. That's for Hancock, Henry, and Rush counties in Indiana. That storm could clip Fayette County in Indiana. Fayette County, the edge of our viewing area here. So we're going to watch that one. And, yeah, that one's... It's had a little rotation with it, too. Let me look at the Indy radar as we look at storm relative velocity. Yeah, there's been some rotation with that, but so far, just a severe thunderstorm warning on that particular cell. So those are the two that could impact our viewing area with the possibility of some rotation or some form of rotation, the possibility of maybe being severe. Okay, so let's hope that those kind of fall apart, continue to fall apart as they move our way. Again, this stuff that's over Cincinnati now, yes, we're getting lightning, northern Boone County, western Hamilton County, back through Kenton County, Campbell County now, but that stuff non-severe. That cell moving through Butler County now, non-severe. Just some garden variety storms. We will watch them. I doubt they are going to get any stronger, though, as they lift through the area tonight. Seriously doubt it. The biggest severe threat has always been west of Cincinnati. That's where the bullseye has been. We told you that the past couple of days. That's where the enhanced risk is. As you go east, the conditions just aren't as good tonight. So that's the news we bring you. There are some more tornado warnings back into eastern Illinois, south of Effingham there. That's been the source region where these storms, where there's more moisture, where conditions are better for these things to kind of start to form, the genesis region, if you will, back there. And so that's been kind of the bullseye. That's why the tornado watch has never been, that's why it started out there, it stayed out there. That's where conditions have been the best, not for Cincinnati, but west of Cincinnati. So we're kind of on the edge of it here, if you will. The big low, the parent low, moving out of Missouri, lifting into Iowa. That thing's going to bring some big winds to the tri-state tomorrow, gusty winds coming on the backside of this. So there's the severe threat tonight. Again, the biggest threat is west of Cincinnati. We're in this slight risk of severe weather. That is not a very high risk. you could think of that as kind of an isolated to scattered risk for severe storms. And these are the maps that was painted by the Storm Prediction Center. A scattered risk for high winds, a scattered risk for hail, the highest tornado threat west of us in yellow that came into western Ripley County. But again, we've got, many of our counties there painted in blue, so we're going to continue to watch this. The signs encouraging tonight. So this is our high resolution modeling. As we go through the evening, the showers, the storms begin to lift north of Cincinnati. It's areas primarily north and west of Cincinnati that we continue to be most concerned with. So if you're in northern Kentucky, we're not terribly concerned. If you're out east of town, say out through parts of Brown, Adams, Highland County, we're not terribly concerned for you folks tonight either. It's primarily areas to the west and northwest of downtown Cincinnati. So you'll notice some storms may push across the area this evening. They may hug our northern counties for a while. Some more storm activity may come in close to midnight in our northwest counties. We'll have to watch that. Even after midnight, Fayette, Union, Franklin County, Butler County, could be some strong wind gusts out of that. But notice as it moves to the east, everything begins to weaken and sort of fall apart. And then the front's going to come through after midnight, and that is going to lead to some cooler weather come tomorrow. Everything's out of here by tomorrow morning, so this is all over. Tomorrow morning, our highs will be reached in the morning, actually technically around midnight, and then we fall into the 40s. Gusty winds tomorrow, a blend of sun and clouds. This is a look at the wind gusts tomorrow. They could go 30 to 40 plus miles per hour during the day tomorrow, and then they begin to come down tomorrow evening. So the bottom line is, from the Weather Center tonight, we are encouraged by what we're seeing. We're cautiously optimistic that, a lot of this severe weather is going to avoid most of the tri-state, but that little booger right there is the one that we got to keep our eyes on. That storm right there that continues to lift through areas north of Columbus, Indiana, Johnson, Bartholomew counties, Brown County, Indiana. Still showing some rotation, but it doesn't look as organized as it once was. And again, kind of want to let's track the leading edge of it, as it could eventually come up into our counties there. So again, we're talking before 9 o'clock for Batesville, Connorsville, Liberty, that should say 9:10. For some reason, the time's messed up for Liberty, the coding. So roughly around 9 is when it eventually gets into our viewing area, if it holds together. And that is a big if tonight. Let me take this radar off, put this radar on. Oh, look at that storm again near Columbus. And again, they've got just a radar indicated tornado warning with it. So this is not confirmed at this point. It's just basically saying, yes, there's some rotation with it. No, we don't see any confirmation of a tornado on the ground with it. There's still kind of a couplet there that you can see with it. Let me put... kind of see the couplet in here that we're watching. So there's still rotation. Not a ton of gate-to-gate shear. Yeah, I mean, it's like very little. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's really coming down there quite a bit. Oh, this is what I wanted to see. Yeah, there's still rotation. I just wanted to put the dummy icons, as I call them, on there. For meteorologists that don't know what they're looking at, you can put the icons to show the general rotation there. So, and let me get it back to Indianapolis now. Yeah, so there's still rotation there, but it doesn't look anything like it did just a half hour ago. It's really weakened quite a bit. This is moving north of Columbus, Indiana. So I know Kyle's got family there in Columbus. Columbus is under a tornado warning now. If you're in Columbus, you should be in your safe place right now. Shelter until this warning's over. Let this thing pass. It could drop a tornado at any point. Like I said, this is a supercell storm that's been cycling up and down, so they do that. But it's looking way less organized right now. And even if it gets less organized, it could still put down a tornado. So, folks over in Decatur County, be on the lookout. We're watching this for northern Ripley County. We're watching this for Franklin County as well. And, maybe even eventually Butler if it holds together, but I think it's not going to hold together that long. So this is the main thing that we are keeping our eyes on. They just extended the tornado warning there. So the Weather Service believing in Indianapolis, believing that there's enough of a threat there to continue the tornado warning over into Decatur County, Indiana now. So I'm checking in here. Yeah, and so the Weather Service in Indianapolis is telling us the rotation is fairly disorganized. But they've got ahead and issued what they call a downstream warning into Decatur County now. By the way, when this storm moved across Bloomington, there was a confirmed tornado. At least one was spotted by law enforcement with a 70-mile-an-hour wind gust at the Bloomington airport a little bit earlier. So again, this is a tornado warning now for Decatur County in Indiana. Again, that is not, it's around the edge of our viewing area. So when we look at this storm, yeah, there's the general rotation. So let's put a track on this as we take it. I'm just going to take it to the edge of the tornado warning area here. So you should be in your safe place there in Columbus, Indiana, Nortonburg, Hall Creek, Hartsville, a wonderful little town there on Indiana 46 that I travel through all the time when I go see my in-laws in Bloomington. Bernie, Ewington, and Greensburg. Those are the areas in the next half hour. Possible tornado. Again, this is a radar-indicated tornado warning that continues for Bartholomew, Decatur, and Shelby counties. Radar indicated hail size 1 1/4 inches, impacting about 58,000 people. Okay. As we track this, I want to track it a little farther as it comes across Decatur County, maybe eventually impacting Franklin County and Ripley County, northern Ripley County in Indiana. So still, we've got an arrival time in Batesville around 8:51 and Laurel, Indiana, closer to 9 at 8:58. So if you're watching from northern Ripley County, if you're watching from western Franklin County, pay attention to this storm. Pay close attention to this storm because within the next 45, 50 minutes, it's going to be knocking on your doorstep in those areas. Very disorganized, though, now. So I'm hopeful the National Weather Service in Wilmington, once it gets to their area, they go with maybe a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag instead of a full-blown tornado warning. Because there's no indication it's producing a tornado now. There's just still some rotation there. But it could. I mean, even though this thing is running into less than favorable conditions as it crosses north of Columbus, Indiana, over into Decatur County, even though it's hitting less than favorable conditions, it still could produce a brief spin-up tornado as it makes its way through those areas. So I'm just giving you guys the early heads up there into northern Ripley County and western Franklin County to keep an eye on this thing. Obviously, if there is a tornado threat, we will come on air on Local 12 and on Star 64 and on the CW Cincinnati. I know Survivor is on now, but Survivor is a repeat, and you can get it on Paramount Plus anyway. So if there is a tornado warning, we definitely will be breaking into programming on this storm this evening. But again, we're probably about an hour away from that, maybe a little less than an hour away from that possibility for our viewing area, at least the arrival time. It will probably be issued a little earlier than that if this rotation continues. But again, I'm hopeful that the Weather Service in Wilmington decides not to extend this into our viewing area. But if you are watching here from Decatur County, back from Columbus, Indiana, over to Greensburg, get to your safe place now. Lowest level of your home, basement preferable. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible in order to protect yourself. And hope that we do not have a tornado. A tornado is possible. Again, this is radar indicated. We do not have any confirmation of a tornado with this storm right now as it stands. Elsewhere, yep, some thunderstorms rolling through Ripley County, Dearborn County, coming right up into Hamilton County. For many of us, this is going to be the main event right now. You're getting it, and it's not severe. And I'm thankful. I am so thankful of that tonight. But we've got some pretty good storms lifting through Colerain Township, Norwood, Reading, up to Sharonville tonight, out into Claremont County. You can see these storms extending toward Owensville, Willowville, right out 32 there. You've got some storms, again, non-severe storms lifting to the north tonight. These are going to roll up into Butler County and Warren County this evening. And there they are, back to around Guilford, moving out of the Lawrenceburg area, heading toward Bright and Harrison. You got some storms lifting to the north tonight, non-severe. That storm is the only one that is showing rotation, and it's what we would call a decaying supercell thunderstorm, starting to fall apart, but still enough rotation there to prompt a tornado warning just outside of the Local 12 News viewing area. So this is the one we are going to continue to follow. Up to the north here, checking on this storm that prompted a severe thunderstorm warning for Hancock, Henry, and Rush counties. It looks like that is going to miss Fayette County. That one's had some rotation with it too, but not enough for a tornado warning. Severe thunderstorm warning with that 60-mile-an-hour winds, 3/4-inch hail. We're thinking that one is going to miss Fayette County. So that is the good news. Very good news. The main storm of concern, there's just one right now that has had a history of producing tornadoes. There it is, northeast of Columbus, Indiana, moving toward Decatur County now. And we'll come back in and check on this one again. Yeah, there's still a couplet there.
What do you think about those storms down in the south and west, though, John? It's going to be moving into that maybe worked over
Yeah.
atmosphere.
41-mile-an-hour gate to gate on that thing. So Ann asked about the storms south and west. So
South and east, I'm sorry.
are
Just south, like coming up over Cincy right now.
oh yeah,
Because that one supercell is going to be coming into that same area.
yeah, and so that's another good point Ann is making. And well, the other problem we have, Ann, is we could get some cell merger here.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, and Ann was making the point of, these storms are going to stabilize the atmosphere even more as they work north through Ripley, into Dearborn, into Hamilton County and Claremont County. Very good point. But then the other thing we worry about is when you've got a supercell that merges with another storm here, like these storms lifting through Ripley County, sometimes when they merge like that, you can get brief spin-ups that occur. So we've got a point of, hey, maybe it won't be so bad, to another counterpoint of, well, sometimes weird little things can happen. So that's our concern this evening as these storms continue to evolve. But good point. Yeah, they're going to be working into. I think what ultimately is going to happen is you're going to see all this kind of merge into a big cluster of storms that's going to lift north across the northern half of our viewing area this evening. Will we see a brief spin up? It's not out of the question, but I think the threat for the bigger tornadoes has stayed to our west as we thought it would. So that's some good news. I want to check in on what the Weather Service is saying there out of Indy. And anything from our Weather Service. They asked about the expansion of the tornado watch. Okay, so your former classmate, Nate McGinnis,
Yes.
from Ohio University. He's in there tonight. He's doing a lot of talking with us at the Weather Service in Wilmington. Shout out to Nate. He's a great meteorologist, smart guy. And he's saying they're talking with the Storm Prediction Center about expansion of the tornado watch. But that may not happen. There may be a threat that is in areas even where there's not a tornado watch, because you get these cell mergers. So it's going to be such an isolated threat that they may not feel like expanding a tornado watch per se. So could there be a tornado threat outside of the actual tornado watch tonight? Yes, that is possible. That is possible. But it's going to be a much lower threat overall. Speaking of that tornado watch, let me get back to it. And so it only covers southeast Indiana now. So Fayette, Union, Franklin, Ripley, Dearborn, Ohio, and Switzerland counties. Could the threat go outside of that? Could the threat brush Butler County tonight? Yes, depending on that supercell and how it holds together, or if it merges with another cell. Could we get a quick little spin up? It is possible. And, I've got so many people that, God bless you when you're on and you're asking about these storms and you say, what about Westchester? What about Hamilton? What about Florence? And as much as I would love to be able to say, hey, I think we're going to get a tornado here, or I think we're going to get a tornado there, that's impossible. If we could do that, if I could tell you, hey, I think we're going to get a strong wind gust here, or a strong wind gust there, or a tornado here, or a tornado there, I probably wouldn't be sitting here tonight at 8 o'clock at night at Local 12 doing what I'm doing. I'd probably be working for some Fortune 500 company with secret information to let people know where tornadoes are going to touch down hours before they do. We're just not there technologically wise yet. Just not there. So there is, again, the tornado warning just outside of our viewing area for that particular storm. And we still got a couplet in there that we're looking at. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. And so once you get these supercell thunderstorms, think of a top you spin on the table, old school toy, classic toy. You've got all that momentum going, and it takes a while for these things to spin down. So even when they run into less favorable conditions, they still rotate. So it's possible that this thing may still rotate enough where they have to issue a tornado warning for it, but it may never produce another tornado. It may produce a brief little EF0 that's on the ground for 30 seconds and then lifts. But as long as this thing is spinning, it's likely that they're going to have to continue some type of warning for it. So there are some arrival times. Again, Greensburg, around 8:31, so about 20 more minutes. I would start thinking about getting to your safe place in Greensburg, Puget Township there, kind of on the edge of our viewing area, around 8:44. Batesville, 8:49. Brookville, 9:06. Bright, 9:15. That's really pushing it. That's way downstream. It may not make it to Bright. So I'm going out pretty far. I'm going out about an hour here. But just to give you a heads up, doesn't mean you're going to get a tornado. Doesn't even mean you're going to get a tornado warning. But that's kind of the trend, the general timing of when this could reach your location there. So we'll have to watch this spin, this supercell, as it continues to move. It's moving at about 45 miles per hour at last check. 40 now, so it's slowed down a little bit. Yeah. So about 40 miles an hour. So, it's not even moving at interstate speeds, this thing. So so a car, along I-74 is going to be traveling faster than what this thing is traveling tonight. So this is the storm that we continue to keep our eyes on. That is the most dangerous storm of them all right now into Decatur County, Indiana. Heavy storms, though. Batesville, St. Leon, right along I-7. I mean, maybe a car on 74 isn't going that fast because they're dealing with blinding rain now, frequent lightning coming into the Harrison area, coming across Coleraine Township, Forest Park, Sharonville, Blue Ash. Again, nothing that we have here is severe at this juncture. These are linear. You can see how they're elongated on radar. And that extends into Claremont County, getting into Warren County too. And then it kind of tails off. You can see like the difference. Like the storms are, pretty robust from Claremont County west, Claremont, Warren County west, and then you get east and it's just not as much. So that's why I was saying, you folks out in Adams and Brown and Highland and across northern Kentucky, we're not worried at all for you folks. It's basically north of Cincinnati and west of Cincinnati is where our primary concerns are going to lie here over the next few hours is all this activity kind of congeals and moves through. There they are coming into Fairfield right now, some heavy thunderstorms moving into Westchester. Heavy thunderstorms right now into the Goshen area. Nothing severe though at this juncture. Let's just take a look at it. Just looking at base velocity. I mean, there's not even a whole lot of wind in these things. So just some loud thunderstorms moving through. I mean, could be a little bit of hail, maybe. But that's about it. Yeah, so I mean, let me see if I can draw on this map. When I draw, you never know what's going to happen. But basically, I mean, Cincinnati points south now. I mean, nothing's going to happen down here now. You're in the all clear. If you're watching me from northern Kentucky and you're afraid of storms, you get storm anxiety, you're good. Stop watching us and go enjoy the rest of your evening. I mean, you're good. It's areas north and west that we're primarily concerned with right now. And that one supercell coming out of Indiana, heading into Decatur County now, that's the one we've got to watch. So as we try to, I'm going to draw a line on the southern periphery of this thing. And so it's tracking like this. So that's the southern edge of it. Maybe I'll take it a little farther south. But basically, north of that line is where my concerns are here at 8:15 Thursday evening. So north of that line, so say from roughly northern Ripley County up through Franklin, Fayette, Union County, and maybe eventually the northern two-thirds of Butler County, depending on how all this evolves the rest of the evening. And then maybe we carry it over into the northern third of Warren County tonight. So these are the places that, right about there. So if you're north of that line, then we've got a threat for severe weather still this evening. It's not a big threat. It's only a level 2. So an isolated severe weather threat to scattered at best. Yeah, so those are the spots that we're concerned with right now. And a lot depends on how this supercell it's a shell of its former self, that's for sure. That supercell thunderstorm. But you still got a tornado warning for it. And there's another storm there that they issued a severe thunderstorm warning on. 60-mile-an-hour winds. Morgan, Johnson, Bartholomew County, again in Indiana. 60-mile-an-hour winds, some small hail. But that one's not rotating. That one's linear. This is the former tornado producer, again, that still is showing rotation, that we're continuing to track this evening. I need some water. I'm parched, to say the least. And Anne's over there drinking water too tonight. At least I think it's water.
Yeah.
I didn't check it. Chime in with any thoughts you might have
I'm trying to think.
on this thing. I'm cautiously optimistic, very cautiously optimistic. Yeah, and these things do. I mean, like I said, they get so much momentum in the rotation, these supercell, because that thing was spinning like a top earlier, and it was earlier tonight. It was like when it formed in Illinois. I mean, that thing, and this supercell came out of Illinois. That thing was a textbook example of a supercell thunderstorm. It had the hook echo and everything. It's no longer that. So they just dropped a severe thunderstorm warning for Wayne County in Indiana. And by dropped, I'm using hip young language with my daughter. They just issued it. They didn't, I need to be more specific. They didn't get rid of it, drop it. They dropped it. So there's a new severe thunderstorm warning for Wayne County, Indiana as well. Okay, so we're getting damage reports from around Bloomington, Indiana now. Trees down. They were rotten trees, though. Okay, so there were 70-mile-an-hour winds in Bloomington, Indiana earlier. But yeah, we're getting some, and then some healthy trees, too, down. Highland Village apartments, Hickory Grove apartments, lots of apartment complexes in Bloomington with Indiana University there. So I haven't seen any significant damage reports coming out of there, though. And if you've seen anything, yeah, thank goodness. My in-laws were there, and I texted my wife. I said, call your parents, tell them to get to their safe spot right now when that thing was coming through. Oh. power flashes? Is that, or no? Okay, can't tell.
First responders, they're allowed up,
Okay,
police lights and stuff, it looks like, as this car's driving by.
okay.
It looks like the power is out.
Yeah, there's lots of power outages where this, supercell went through. So definitely power outages where this thing has gone through tonight. All right, coming back in, tracking our storms here. Pleasant Plain, Westchester, getting kind of loud for you folks. Deerfield Township, Mason now, some thunderstorms lifting through. Fairfield, Ross Township, Crosby Township, these are lifting up into Hamilton now. Again, these are not severe thunderstorms. You can see how they're kind of elongated. These are below severe limits, just some loud thunderstorms. I'm thankful for that. And then back into Franklin County. And then our supercell kind of merge in with this line of storms now. That thing really is a shell of its former self.
Yeah.
Good.
That's good. Yeah.
Go away, please.
Yeah.
Please go away. A lot of people think that we root for severe weather. We do not. So let me just tell you guys, tonight is my daughter's 18th birthday. And I would have loved to have had dinner with her and my wife tonight and maybe cut some cake and open some presents, but I'm here. And that's part of the job, and I know that. Okay, so they've extended downstream, Ann,
They did?
a severe thunderstorm warning.
Oh, that's
For
what you said.
yes,
That's good news.
so I wonder if they've tagged it tornado possible. Yeah. Okay. So no, not even a tornado possible tag.
Wow. So they've really lost confidence in it too, which is good.
Yeah. Mike Ryan, my buddy Mike Ryan.
Uh-oh.
What do we got?
Tornado watch extended, it looks like.
Okay. So did they extend the tornado watch?
For Union, Dearborn, Warren County. Let's see.
Okay. So breaking news here: the tornado watch has been extended into Butler, Warren, Clinton County. Now they have taken out Ohio and Switzerland County. Okay, so they feel like, okay, there are some storms in these areas. We may get some cell mergers from the storms coming in from the west. And that could cause some quick little spin ups, okay? So that's kind of what we were saying. I'm not so sure about Clinton County though,
Yeah.
but the Weather Service, I'm gonna defer to them on that. They're very smart people there. Top of their class, good people. So Butler County, Warren County, we talked about that. We're the threat is there certainly, and I assume it's still till 9, or they extend it.
yeah.
They extend it.
Wait,
Probably would extend it, I would imagine.
It's now I think until 11. Let's see.
So they took it till 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
County.
All right. So we got to update our graphics
Updating it.
on this. Yeah. Oh, I see. You updated it. So I'm going to reload this. So now until 11 o'clock, they've gone ahead and done that. So it is a tornado watch added now for Butler, Warren, and Clinton County. And if you could update the web to awesome. So, yeah, so you folks in Butler. So, what did we say 2 days ago? We said areas north and west of Cincinnati. North and west of Cincinnati have the highest threat. That is what's materializing tonight. So, Butler County, Warren County, Clinton County, Fayette, Union, Franklin, Ripley, and Dearborn County, you're now under a tornado watch until 11 o'clock this evening. So there are the storms lifting in. And I'm assuming they're really concerned about the cell merger here that's going to take place. But again, downstream now, and I say downstream, I mean to the east, downwind of where it's headed. The Weather Service in Indianapolis has gone with a severe thunderstorm warning until 9 for Decatur County. That may be extended into portions of Ripley County and into Franklin County eventually, the severe thunderstorm warning. Now, Weather Service in Wilmington may have a different opinion than the Weather Service in Indianapolis. That happens. The line is at the Decatur, Franklin, Ripley County line for the different Weather Service offices. So one may issue a tornado warning, the other may issue a severe thunderstorm warning. They try to coordinate, but sometimes there's just difference in opinion there. But as for now, it looks like they've gone with severe thunderstorm warning for this cell coming across Decatur County. It's going to be running into I-74 here momentarily near the Greensburg area. And so I want to get another. They've got the forward speed at 40 now. So I'm going to readjust our tracking tool and give you another track on this storm. So here it is. We're going to carry it. Let's do it an hour. So in the next hour. So that severe warned storm in Greensburg right about now. Puget Township, 846. Batesville, 853. Metamora, 902. Brookville, Indiana, 911. Cedar Grove, 915. And Bath, Indiana, 924. That's getting close to the Butler County line. So again, this is going to be a severe thunderstorm warned storm now. Instead of the tornado warning, they're going to go with the severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of this thing. They still got the tornado warning for southwestern portions of Decatur County on it. Definitely still some rotation there. But downstream, let's hope we stay with the severe thunderstorm warning and nothing more at this juncture. You can see the storms lifting into Brookville, Indiana now, into the Hamilton area. These are lifting up to Oxford. Ooh, I'd love to get our Miami cam. Thinking about that. Let's see if I could look and see if we could see anything. I've been talking for a while.
Do you need more water?
No, I've got plenty of water.
Okay. I can give you some.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Give you some, Johnny.
Water's not what I need at this point, Ann. Sorry. Water's not what I need. Okay. I'm going to take a look. I'm bringing up our Miami cam. Miami University. Play that in channel 1 here. I'm manipulating multiple computers at once, folks, so please hang with me. Never find what I'm looking for when I'm looking for. There it is. There's the camera at Miami. Oh, yeah. Did you see the lightning?
No, I missed
Boom. Yeah. Right on cue.
here.
Right on cue. Yep. So we're getting some lightning up there at Miami University now. I'm going to go back to radar for a second. I think I've got a quick and easy way to... I wanted to show the... All right, so here's the good news. All tornado warnings are off the board. Now, I'll say that, and I'll jinx us. There is still severe thunderstorm warning for that supercell thunderstorm over Greensburg, Indiana now. That is going to eventually impact Ripley County and Franklin County. Elsewhere, yes, we've got thunderstorms. No, they are not severe. But Brookville, Riley Township, Hamilton, South Lebanon. Did we get the new tornado watch up on the old website yet? Okay, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to go back to that camera in Oxford. I've got on the palette end, I've got a hot button here for tower cam if you want to quickly switch, and it'll take whatever is in 1, weather metrics 1. Oh yeah, we're getting some lightning up there. There it is. I want to bring this up. So that camera's located on Miami University's campus there overlooking the quad, and you can see as those storms approach Oxford, we're beginning to see more and more lightning there into the Oxford area. I'm going to pull up the tornado watch again. And simple fact of the matter, I'm doing this, taking a screenshot of it right now. This is how we make the donuts. This is how we make the donuts. Okay, so I'm going to send that out on my other social platforms. Probably simultaneously. So there again is the line of thunderstorms. And I think perhaps, Ann, what the thought was in including Clinton County was that these storms are kind of backbuilding a little bit. And so they're worried that with all the wind shear we have in the atmosphere that there could be a quick little spin up that occurs anywhere along this line of storms. So even though this line of storms is not severe at this moment, as it lifts through Clinton County, and we've even got some rain down around Hillsborough now, but as it lifts up here through Clinton County into Warren County and Butler County, there could be a quick spin up that occurs. So, you know, I guarantee at the Weather Service, they're really keeping a close eye on all these cells here. And there's nothing in there rotating right now necessarily. But just some pretty good storms that are lifting north. If you guys just joined us, it's always a good idea when we're, doing long-form severe weather coverage, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or on local12.com, to do a reset and to give you guys a big view of what is going on right now and let you know what's happening. And as I said earlier, across areas generally south of this line, you're in the clear. So all of northern Kentucky, I could actually even push that line a little farther north. I'm a bad drawer of lines, I will admit that. But generally south of this line, you're in the clear. So in the clear now for Cincinnati. In the clear now, it looks like for the 275 loop. Claremont County in the clear. Highland County, Adams County, all of northern Kentucky in the clear. I'm going to give the southern 2/3 of Ripley County in the clear right now, and southern 2/3 of Dearborn County as well. So we're kind of monitoring things to the north right now with this system as it moves through. And there are no tornado warnings right now. Knocking on wood, because whenever I say that, the alarm goes off and we're hustling. But that's the storm that had a history of producing tornadoes, prompting a severe thunderstorm warning now for Decatur County. Winds to 60 miles. They're very specific on hail size, 0.88 inches on that, so it would be under an inch diameter hail. 60-mile-an-hour winds. That severe thunderstorm warning is going to go until 9 o'clock this evening. Again, I want to track that storm. It's moving at about 40 miles an hour. I'm going to track the northern edge of it since it's kind of a wind threat now. And so let's carry it for the next hour. And it'll be interesting to see what it does as it maybe merges with some of these other storms. But that's the track within the next hour. McCoy, 837. Salt Creek, 843. Batesville, 852. Brookville, 910. Mount Carmel, Indiana, 920. Harrison, Ohio, or West Harrison, Indiana. Take your pick, 926. And Oxford around 933. So this is the worst of the storms as we continue to see it, a supercell thunderstorm that has lost its organization and definition, but still is showing signs of rotation. And it is possible the Weather Service in Wilmington could issue a downstream severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Franklin County and Ripley County at any moment. They may go with a tornado warning, a radar-indicated tornado warning. I don't know. That is up to the person making those decisions at the Weather Service office in Wilmington at this point. The Weather Service in Indianapolis has decided to forego the tornado warnings and replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning. So that is the situation that we're in right now. Elsewhere in the tri-state, some loud thunderstorms coming through Brookville, Indiana. Starting to cross over onto the lake there, Mount Carmel, Indiana, Riley Township, over into St. Clair Township. The worst of these moving north of Hamilton proper now. Liberty Township, Monroe, they're coming up into Middletown, coming on hot in Middletown. Again, none of these severe as we speak, but there's heavy rain, there's frequent lightning coming into Lebanon, South Lebanon, going over into Vernon Township, and then coming into Clinton County. We've got some heavy storms too. Again, nothing severe, but you can see the lightning there hugging the Warren and Clinton County line tonight. Heavier rain working toward Wilmington. So that is the setup this evening. Looks like there's some stragglers back to the west. Severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, in the same area there around Terre Haute that was hit earlier. I mean, that area has been worked over with storms. Still some storms there that are they got tornado possible tags on those. And again, back here to the west, that's where we've, said the worst of the threat was going to be. They're closer to that big low. So the dynamics are better. You've got more wind shear. You've got more lift in the atmosphere. And you've got back there today, since you're close to the surface low, there was more moisture that was drawn north in the lower levels of the atmosphere. They've still got some rotating storms back there crossing the Wabash River tonight. Kyle worked in Terre Haute for a while at the TV station there. Kyle Inscape, who is from Columbus, Indiana originally, but he also worked in Indianapolis. And I point that out because my first round of applications as a TV meteorologist, I sent something to Terre Haute, didn't hear back. So I wasn't good enough for Terre Haute back in the day. Rock Island, Illinois called, though, and then so did Fort Wayne, Indiana. All right, back to our storms. I know. So, it's a story of persistence, Anne. Story of persistence. Back to our storms here. Still watching that storm coming out of Decatur County near Greensburg. And I'm just, I'm watching these storms like a hawk. Rolling through. Let's go back to our Oxford cam. Oh, we're getting rain there in Oxford now. Campus in Miami. I'm going to take a water break and stop talking for a little while. I feel like when we're on streaming, we could just all kind of hang out together and I don't need to talk forever. And at least on Facebook here, we've gone down on our viewer count. People, well, I think once the storms move out of your area, you're like, yeah, okay. And John said it's okay in my area, so we're done. So it's the northern areas that are of most concern. I got a new Yeti water bottle for my birthday. My other one I damaged.
Oh, right, wasn't it like?
And it didn't insulate. Well, the cap was chewed up by Lucy the leather dog.
Oh, that didn't insulate.
And it had taken some dings and dents, and the vacuum proof portion of it was gone. So you'd put ice in it and it would be melted in like a half hour. This one, brand new, still working good. I messed it up a little bit. I'm hard on things. Yeah, a lot of lightning up there in Oxford, as you would expect. Let's see how much rain has fallen is estimated by radar. This might take a second to come up. Chloe Paul just said, this is an interesting weather forecast. Well, when we're streaming, it's like you're hanging out with us in the weather office. Yeah, you're part of the team, hanging out. The computer's slow to populate, but you can see where those storms have been. Maybe off to the west of us is where most of it has been. We're not about formalities when we're on the YouTube and the Facebook. I'll tell you that. We'll be more formal if we had to be on Local 12 right now. But here, just kind of hanging out. Yep, these are, so far, working through Franklin County and Butler County, Warren County, Clinton County, thunderstorms, but no rotation, no big winds. Can check that again. Yeah, I mean, the winds I'm queuing here are like 20 miles an hour. There's no, maybe 40. So yeah, there's no wind. Maybe a little bit of small hail, but that might be pushing it. Certainly a lot of lightning. And let's check on our boy back here, or our girl. I'm not sure. Is the supercell a girl or a boy? I have no idea. There it is. It's really starting to lose definition as it merges with this line. Still got to watch it. That one thing I've learned over the years, these supercell thunderstorms, even when they don't look like they're anything anymore, as they merge with other cells, sometimes you can get some spin ups. So yeah, still some broad rotation. It's along I-74 now, just east of Greensburg. So, right in here, near Mechanicsburg, Kingston, east of Greensburg. We still have rotation. The thing won't give up, Ann. It's just continue. I'm surprised the Weather Service in Indy didn't put a tornado possible tag on that. Because there's still some mid-level rotation in there. Not enough to concern us, but, stranger things have happened as these little cells get absorbed into it and kind of come into it tonight. So it'll be interesting to see in the next couple of minutes if they continue this warning into Franklin County. There's the arrival times. Batesville, we're getting close. 8:51, Oldenburg 8:55, Peppertown 8:58, Oak Forest 9:04, Brookville 9:11, Cedar Grove 9:16, Mount Carmel 9:21. Throat's getting dry. I know if we got to go on channel 12, I ain't got nothing left, Ann. It's all you. Just gotta sit here and talk to my people on the Facebook and the YouTube tonight. But yeah.
Nate posted in chat again. He says the recent trends are positive, but he says if the rate storm comes together with the turning of the winds in the atmosphere.
Yeah, and he's right. Yeah. And so Ann was saying you can't hear her, but yeah, I know. You know what? We need like way more stuff. Like 4 mics.
He says the biggest concern is the southernmost storms. That group of storms.
Yeah, recent trends. So Nate McGinnis, Weather Service Wilmington, classmate of Ann's at Ohio University. Recent trends with thunderstorms moving through eastern Indiana have been encouraging. Overall lightning activity decreasing, but the turning of the winds in the atmosphere, so that's the wind shear that we talked about. With that, it won't take much to get a tornado if the right storm comes together or if you get merging of these cells. Biggest concern will be on the southernmost storms within this group of thunderstorms. So those are the ones that we're watching moving through Franklin, Butler, Warren, and Clinton County now. Those are the ones he refers to. So there are so many really micro-scale, tiny-scale things that happen here in this situation that we can't measure and can't predict. So he's saying, hey, signs are encouraging, but northern counties aren't out of the woods. So that's why, actually, I haven't done a lightning count on this in a while. So we're at 126 strikes over the last 15 minutes, 128. So that'll update automatically as new strikes hit. And the storm, this former supercell, is the most electrically active right now, coming into western Franklin County. Got 20 positive strikes in the area. Now, positive and negative lightning strikes are kind of different. The negative are kind of the run-of-the-mill variety. The positive ones are the stronger, higher amperage ones. Those are the ones that do the most damage. Those are the ones that are most deadly when they hit a person. And so the positive strikes are always ones that are more concerning. I'm curious, as I come in, I just want to focus on the supercell. Yeah, so that one alone has had 2 positive strikes in the last 15 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of lightning happening right now. That's for sure. Yeah, so this warning for Decatur is due to expire at 9 o'clock. They have not. I feel like people need to see Anne.
You want me to pop?
There she is. Just hide. Oh,
Oh,
back there.
sorry.
Back there. Hanging out back there. Because
I'm really here.
you don't want to have to stare at me this entire time. I messed up the camera. We do not have expensive studio cameras on our streaming set here. It's a Microsoft Life Cam or something. I don't even know what this thing is. It's not that great of a camera. I try to go with the soft focus for. I need to be in a soft focus. Okay. So right now, again, to reset my buddy Tim Hedrick always taught me this with the coverage. He's like, John, every once in a while you got to put a big map up and reset and tell people if they're just tuning in what's going on. So if you're just joining us, here's the setup right now. The severe weather threat is north of downtown Cincinnati. All right? So as we draw a line here across our viewing area, if you're south of that line, which is, 2/3 of our viewing area, you are in the clear. That includes areas in and around the entire I-275 loop. So you're in the clear now. It's only areas north of that line that we continue to monitor for the possibility of severe weather. Back to the tornado watch. This has been extended until 11 o'clock for Fayette, Union, Franklin, Ripley, and Dearborn counties in Indiana, and Butler, Warren, and Clinton counties in Ohio. And so they're worried about, with all the shear in the atmosphere, these cell mergers, how these storms interact, that they may spin up a quick tornado. That is why the tornado watch exists as is. And good, they're playing it safe. And that is a look at the current activity in the area. There are no tornado warnings right now. There is one severe thunderstorm warning on the edge of the Local 12 News viewing area. And that is for Decatur County, Indiana, technically just outside of our viewing area. This is a county that it used to be in Cincinnati's viewing area years ago. But they took it out and they gave it to Indianapolis. And I think more people do probably watch Indianapolis TV up here than watch Cincinnati TV. But one little section of Decatur County officially under severe thunderstorm warning until 9 for 60-mile-an-hour winds and some small hail there. They have chose to this point not to continue that warning into the Local 12 News viewing area. The line between the Weather Service offices is right there at the Franklin-Decatur County line and the Decatur-Ripley County line. So as of now, no warning for our area at this juncture. But one thing to notice as you look at the radar, you see how the storms through Franklin and Butler County and Warren and Clinton County are lifting north. And then you've got the supercell thunderstorm coming out of Decatur County into western Franklin County. Those storms are moving from west to east. So what can happen right here, and you see how we got this cell over Brookville, Indiana moving north, and then a cell coming in over Peppertown moving to the east. What can happen sometimes is these merge, we can get a spin up. So this is the area that I'm going to watch right here into Franklin County that we need to keep an eye on. So far, no sign of that. Looking at different wind fields here from different radars. I mean, there's still some rotation. And it's kind of right on the edge of that severe thunderstorm warning, and in Puget Township. Right there. So, this is a spot I'm watching. The northwestern portion of Franklin County, Indiana, and the northeastern portion of Decatur County, Puget Township, over to Peppertown, Metamora, Laurel, Blooming Grove, maybe west of Brookville. Those are the dummy icons, as I call them, because they're kind of out of place where they should be. And again, we're shooting this with a Indianapolis radar, so we're looking aloft. And so that rotation's aloft. But I mean, it's still showing some rotation there. So that's a spot that we will continue to keep an eye on. Somebody just asked about Hamilton. I saw that come across. Kate asked about Hamilton. Hamilton right now, you had some storms roll through. Worst of those have moved north, but there's more storm activity around Morgan Township. We're watching. Still some storms possible in Hamilton. You are officially under a tornado watch until 11 o'clock this evening in the city of Hamilton. So we're cautiously optimistic, but as Nate McGinnis was saying over at the Weather Service in Wilmington, depending on how these storms merge and evolve, there's enough shear in the atmosphere that we could get a quick spin up somewhere. Yeah, so it looks like that what's left of that velocity couplet has left the severe thunderstorm warning that was issued by the Weather Service in Indianapolis for Decatur. They may have timed it really good. It's going to expire at 9 here. And now it has entered Franklin County, Indiana. So the circulation, what's left of that supercell thunderstorm that has had a history of producing tornadoes, is now entered northwestern Franklin County, Indiana. It'll go between Lakeview and Peppertown, passing close to Laurel and Metamora. So I've been kind of tracking that. Tracking that circulation. There it is. I'll just put a little track on that. We're going to watch this. There's no warning. But Chapel School 902, Laurel 910, Laurel Elementary and High School 910, Whitewater Canal Memorial 913, Blooming Grove 918, and Everton around 920 for that. What's left of that circulation. So the warning that was up for Decatur County has expired. It's gone.
Oh, really?
Yes. So that was going to expire at 9 o'clock.
Now
you
it's
take-
almost like everything's just congealing
Yeah, it's all congealing.
into like a
There's some cameras. My camera keeps cutting my face off, which is fine. I mean, it's probably better for the folks at home or wherever you're watching tonight if my face is cut off. Oh, we love self-deprecating humor around here. At least I do. Never take myself too seriously. All right, so if you're joining us right now, some thunderstorms moving across our northern counties where there is a tornado watch that is technically in effect until 11 o'clock this evening. Fayette, Union, Franklin County, Butler, Warren, Clinton County. We're watching these storms coming through now, but I mean, it's not going to be long that these storms are going to be out of Warren County and out of Clinton County. So we've got heavy storms now around the Sabina area. To Gurneyville, Wilson Township, New Burlington, Waynesville, Clear Creek Township, Dodds, Red Lion, Middletown, Posttown, our friends in Carlisle. Heavy rain, lots of lightning up there for you folks. Coming over towards 7 Mile, Millville, St. Charles, Riley Township, Oxford, Collinsville, Somerville. Heavy thunderstorms for all you folks. And then back to Brookville, Peppertown, Laurel, Metamora. And I mean, still in Decatur County, still some storms there as well. Yeah, and what's left of that circulation is crossing 52 now, but between Lakeview and Metamora, it's elevated, very broad in nature at this point. Let's just go down and look at the wind fields along all this stuff. I'm kind of looking at things behind the scenes here. And no huge wins in any of this that we're seeing. And did you ever have jobs babysitting growing up?
Yes.
So this is similar to babysitting,
Yeah.
like an older child that you don't have to worry about them too much. You're just there to make sure everything's okay.
Doesn't go awry.
Yeah, and so that's what we're kind of doing now. We're babysitting these storms, making sure that they behave and that we don't get any weird cell mergers or anything that could spin up a brief tornado, because that's still possible given the atmospheric setup that we have tonight. So we're kind of babysitting these storms tonight with you. So we thank you for being here tonight and hanging out with us as we kind of track these things. And we've been on for about an hour now, I guess, haven't we?
Over.
Has it been over an hour?
Closer to 90 minutes.
Has it been 90 minutes? I've lost track of time.
That's what it
And we still have almost 200 people watching on just Local 12's Facebook page. So, not to mention YouTube or wherever else we're at tonight. I haven't checked on these storms back crossing the Wabash River. I love saying that. Wabash. The Wabash River. They still got a severe thunderstorm warning south of Terre Haute, Indiana. For Sullivan County. They don't have the they don't have the tornado possible tag on that one anymore.
Well,
So that's good.
okay. Yeah, that really kind of
Yeah.
fizzled out again, which is good.
I like the fizzling out
Yeah.
part of this. Oh, I know what I wanted to check. There it is. Okay, so there's the storm reports. So earlier today, these cells fired up that one supercell around Effingham, Illinois. Continued reports of tornadoes all through here. There's Cincinnati, Indiana, not to be confused with Cincinnati, Ohio. And you can see how that supercell had a history of producing hail into the Bloomington area here. There was the 70-mile-an-hour wind gust. The airport southwest of Bloomington. So that supercell moved through. Reports of hail here too. 1.3-inch hail. Trees down. Yep. There's the trees I talked about down in Bloomington. 0.8 hail. So yeah, that gives you an idea of where the storms reports were toward the Indianapolis area. And again, we're just kind of on the edge of this here in Cincinnati. So a lot of the tornado reports centered back in Illinois. Again, they did have a report of a tornado on the ground by law enforcement in Monroe County where Bloomington was. So it'll be interesting to see if they see some damage and they go back and see if that was an actual tornado back there. But now we continue to deal with these storms. No warnings for the local 12 news viewing area right now. Knocking on wood again. Looking at the wind fields here. It looks like that one circulation is moving up toward the Laurel area now, kind of being absorbed there into the rest of that line. Pretty good storm there around Millville. Coming back into Hamilton. For Hanover Township. Just looking at different views of the winds here. Everything looks pretty linear until back here. I haven't checked the lightning count in a while. Coming down. from what it was earlier. A little bit. We're up in the 120s on the strikes earlier. Positive strikes have come down. I'm impressed. We still have 200 people hanging out with us tonight.
They like hanging out with us.
Like, I appreciate that you guys are hanging out with us today, because this is just what we do on a night like this.
Yeah.
We watch radar. We watch trends. I mean, you know, some might think that, you know, I've got this person that comes in and puts makeup on me before I go on TV. No, I do it myself. This is what I do. I've got a protein bar over there that I'm waiting to eat for dinner. What time is it? 9:11. And I had soup earlier, so it smelled really good. I've got a protein bar. Yep, pretty good storms around Hamilton, St. Clair Township, Collinsville, Jacksburg. No.
Thunderstorm warning for Warren.
Okay, so they just issued a severe thunderstorm warning. I knew Nate would want to issue something. Okay, it's up here to the north. Ooh, right on the edge of our viewing area.
Really?
That's it. So this is going to crawl on Local 12. It's going to warn on your Weather Authority app if you're in these tiny little section of Warren Clinton. And now I've got people that ask me in this situation, John, I'm in Warren County. I'm in Clinton County. The Weather Authority app did not alert me to the storm. Well, here's why. You got to be in this little area right here of far northeastern Warren and northwestern Clinton to be included in that warning. That's the only tiny section of our viewing area that's included in this warning. Clinton County, Greene County, Warren County, under a severe thunderstorm warning for hail. All right, this is a hailer. It looks like that most of that hail threat's north out of our viewing area right now. So let's see if we can bring this up. And notice our crawl here is given a live warning update. So it's
Oh, yeah.
so it's taking the stuff from TV and putting it here on our stream. Right, there's the hail. And do we have a speed on this one? And
Looked it up. I think it's 35.
35. It's crawling.
Yeah.
All right. So there's the hail zone. New Burlington, right on the edge of our viewing area, 915. Maple Corner, 922. Cedar Creek High School, 923. Cedar Creek, 924. Cedar Creek Fords Park, Amphitheater, 932. New Jasper, 932. New Burlington, the only place technically that's in our viewing area. Most of that is out of our viewing area. But we could query this and see what we're dealing with here. Sometimes it takes me a second to find things. It's showing half-inch hail, which would be sub-severe on our system.
That's interesting because my old system had overestimated the hail size.
Yeah.
But this under maybe underestimated.
Well, I think it depends on the situation. And it looks like it's out, like it's moved up here to the north now. So it's crossed over into Greene County at this juncture. But that is just being warned for hail only. For a tiny sliver of Clinton and Warren County. Oh, it looks like, I mean, the hail was there by the time they issued the warning. And it looks like it's moving out now. So they're calling for 1-inch hail possibility. Let me try something else here. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't think we need to interrupt whatever is on Local 12 for this right now. All right, so that's the only warning in town right now. Looks like the hail's already out of Warren and Clinton County, so you blink, you missed it. It's gone now. Still watching the storm around Hamilton. Not showing any large hail with that. Let's look at our velocity mode again. You've got kind of a broad rotation here. Okay, this is what we're talking about we need to watch. The way this is moving. Just need to keep an eye on it. Just need to keep an eye on it. All right, so our only warning for a tiny sliver of Warren and Clinton County. The threat's gone from those counties, though. The hail is up here. Yeah, there's a couplet there around Maple Corner, north of Caesars Creek. There's a big thing of hail headed toward New Jasper. So let's get a track on that. This is technically out of our viewing area, but we know people in Greene County occasionally watch us and not Dayton. New Jasper, Cedarville Church of the Nazarene, and Ford Park Amphitheater. Caesars Ford Park Amphitheater, I guess. Sometimes places pop up. I'm like, what's that? Never heard of that. It's got some weird characters in there, too. So, yeah, some hail headed toward you guys. Not so much concerned with Clinton and Warren County anymore on that warning. I think that's kind of, So, Nate, you can trim that back anytime now, buddy.
I think Nate's watching.
Nate's not watching us.
Nate's watching the radar.
We're the furthest thing from Nate's mind right now. Yeah. Stronger storms over Hamilton, Butler County, sliding toward Middletown now. Got a storm around Batesville, Indiana now. It continues to cross through there. Non-severe at this juncture. Not seeing anything there. All the stuff of interest really is Butler County right now. So these storms that are lifting north. All right, if you're just joining us, most of the area in the clear for severe weather. We'll come back to the tornado watch. Officially until 11 for Butler, Warren, Clinton counties. That's probably where the only threat is now, but technically Fayette, Union, Franklin, and Ripley and Dearborn. But threats moved out of a lot of those areas. That's the big radar view. If you are north of this line, I'm going to draw. There's still a threat. If you're south of that line, which is most of our area, The severe threat is going away tonight, and you can rest easy at this point. Just the northern areas that we're concentrating on right now. And this tornado watch issued not because they expect any big tornadoes. They're not expecting that. There could be a brief little spin up. And the chances of that are small. I mean, the trends are good tonight. The trend is our friend, but we need to continue to watch it until these storms get out of the area. All right. Thank you, Nate and friends. There's no more warning for Warren, no more warning for Clinton. So that should be coming off our crawl ticker system soon when it updates here. The warning now for Greene County for hail, and again, that was kind of borderline. If you are watching there from Greene County, if you have any hail, that is the one storm that we have a concern with right now from a hail standpoint. And Greg just said, hey, can you stick with the storm near Cedarville? My kid is at Cedarville University. Absolutely, Greg. Let's check it out. This storm hasn't shown any rotation signs. Well, now there's a little rotation there. There's a little. Very broad. Very broad. This is mainly a hail-producing storm right now. So there is where the hail is. And Greg, it looks like that hail may miss Cedarville University. It's a good school. Let's look at our hail zone in the next 30 minutes, see if it shows anything. Yeah, I think that hail might miss Cedarville. We'll see. It's going to be close. Might pass just southeast. But again, this storm being warned on for hail, and hail alone, they've got the winds less than 50. I mean, there's not much wind in it. It's just a hail threat. And even then, we're not seeing, and this algorithm's a little behind, but we're not seeing any huge hail. They went with up to 1 inch hail, but our algorithms have been shown a little lower, half inch with that. And there's a broad rotation with it. You can see there. I put up my dummy icon there to show you that it's just a broad rotation with it. So definitely need to watch these storms as they work north tonight. Hail looks to be the biggest threat with that one for Greene County, Ohio, just outside the local 12 news viewing area. And again, and the thing that I always remind myself when we're covering stuff here on YouTube and on Facebook is that viewing area doesn't matter because you could watch us from anywhere. So those lines are no longer valid where the TV signal stops and because we can go anywhere. So, yeah, that storm working into Greene County, kind of losing some of its organization, but it definitely bears watching just for the simple fact that it's producing a little bit of hail, and you've got kind of a broad rotation with it there. as it moves up close to Xenia, impacting just under 49,000 folks there in Greene County. So that's our only warning right now. I want to revisit this storm in Butler County. Moving through Hamilton, Jacksonburg, St. Clair Township, coming into Liberty Township and Monroe. Definitely some hail. The idiot icon is showing some hail, but you can see right there, maybe a little hail along 4 near Mosstown, Woodsdale, Rockdale, where you see that purple flashing kind of going toward LaSwordsville there. Coming up toward Kyle Station Road. Maybe getting a little bit of hail out of that storm right there. Excuse me. So yeah, that storm is headed to the east. Do a track on it here. Maybe a little north of east. Excello, Monroe, 928, 931. Ricard Acres, 932. Carlisle, 934. Franklin, 937. Turtle Creek Township, 939. Lebanon, 943. And Clear Creek Township around 944. So that storm bears watching. With all of this shear in the atmosphere, and these storms kind of merging, these little storm cells merging. Yeah, we got some broad rotation trying to form in there, but that one, too, that just came through close to Batesville, probably had some hail with it, too. There's a little flash there. Or it might have had a little bit of hail. All right, so the warning for Warren, and I wanted to make sure it was down off the cross. Sometimes it takes a little while to clear that if it till it resets. Let's visit that storm again up here in Greene Township, or Greene Township, Greene Township, Greene County. It's been a long night. It's been a long 48 hours. Yesterday was something else. All right. Yeah, maybe still a little hail there, but again, I think that's going to miss Cedarville and Cedarville University. Craig just asked, how are we looking for Brown County? Okay, Craig. So good time to do a reset if you're just joining us. Main severe threat right now, and it's a low one, kind of north of this line. South of that line, you're in good shape. Brown County, you're south of that line, you're in good shape. Now, there's going to be some other stuff that rolls through here later tonight, but it's not expected to be severe. You can see some of that activity around Bloomington and Terre Haute now. None of that is severe. at this point. We haven't revisited our high resolution model in a while. Maybe a good time to do that. This thing updates every hour. So what you're looking at now is a model coming up at 10 o'clock. And so you'll notice all the storm activity and this is just an estimate. We got some clusters of stuff that's trying to form southeast of Cincinnati. So yeah, there's still a chance for some showers and storms. At least a chance until about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But the threat for severe weather waning quickly across the southern half of our viewing area, the southern 2/3. So basically where the tornado watch we ain't worried so much about severe weather. Ain't a word, and I ain't going to say it anymore. So there's the tornado watch: Fayette, Union, Franklin, Ripley, Dearborn County, Butler, Warren, Clinton County, officially until 11. So outside of that, we're not as concerned about severe weather. Not much wind. Maybe some coming into Liberty Township, maybe on the tail end of that bot guy. So let's keep an eye on this. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys appreciate us hanging out and watching radar, or do you appreciate being able to hang out and watch radar with us? Because this is just like what we'd be doing if we weren't streaming to Facebook and YouTube. Ann and I would be sitting here, or maybe in the studio even, just keeping an eye on things. I do have a scheduled newscast coming up on Star 64 at 10 o'clock. And that'll be more formal TV newsy. You know, how we do the TV newsy thing. So we're going to take this party over to Star 64. And it's going to be a little different. So probably stay with you for a little while longer here. Maybe another few minutes, but we've got the TV beast to feed, so to speak. The live newscasts on television are calling our names tonight. Yeah, pretty good storms. Monroe, Middletown, into Liberty Township now. But there's not a lot of wind there. And all the lightning's kind of north now, up around Carlisle. Yeah. Check back on our storm up here in Greene County. Still warning. There's still some hail. There it is. Crossing 72 here in a minute. Kind of parallel on 35. Right where you see the purple. A little hail core there. It may not be an inch in diameter. I'd be surprised if it were. But there's something there. There's some hail. That's going to go till 9:45, that particular warning. So we're definitely going to go off here. Jennifer, you are welcome. Glad to help out. Kendall asks if we need to be worried about tornadoes in Lebanon still. You're still under a tornado watch until 11. So we still need to keep an eye on things in Lebanon. Yes, absolutely need to keep an eye on things. It's a very small chance, but a chance nonetheless until these storms clear your area. So that's something we just need to keep an eye on, Kendall. And again, if we were to get something developing, it would be a brief, small spin up. And we're not talking about a big tornado that's going to be on the ground for a long time. This will be maybe a brief spin up, if anything. There's just so much wind shear in the atmosphere. As long as we've got these storms, we need to keep an eye on them. So that's kind of why we're keeping an eye on things tonight. And I guarantee the Weather Service is keeping an eye on things very closely. That heavy rain getting ready to cross 75 now. Middletown, Monroe, north of Mason, Wetherington, you're on the edge of it. It's moving toward Lebanon. Heavy rain, some lightning there still. We haven't checked in on the lightning in a while. Yep, back to about 112. Up now 86 as it updates before our very eyes. It's been holding pretty steady on the lightning count there tonight. So yeah, just watching these tiny little fingers of storms working through our northern counties. Watching that one, riding up. That one's occasionally might have produced a little hail back west of Batesville. Looks like it's a little weaker right now near St. Peter. Nothing to write home about there. Our Cedarville storm, our Greene County storm is certainly weakened. So that's good news. They might want to maybe take that severe thunderstorm warning down for Greene County soon. Maybe expire it early. Otherwise, just watching this, crossing 75 right there. And there's not even much wind. All right, one more reset for you. Watching storms north of Cincinnati tonight. Southern 2/3 of the area, you're looking pretty good at this point. Could be some stuff that swings in from the west later tonight, but we're not expecting that to be severe. Basically, our northernmost counties, where the threat continues, we'll draw a line north of that line. Fayette, Union, Franklin, Butler, Warren, Clinton County. Maybe northern Highland gets clipped by something, but there's no watch there. So, again, very low threat right now. But the tornado watch is going to run until 11 o'clock this evening. For the rest of us, look like we're doing pretty good at this point. Watching these couple of cells that I'll circle. Coming out of Butler into Warren County, and this one, southern Franklin, northern Ripley, northern Dearborn County. Not severe right now, but we could get quick little spin-ups. So just something we're going to continue to monitor. If we were to get a tornado warning, we would come to you live on Local 12, on Star 64, on the CW Cincinnati, and we would also come back live on streaming, but it would be from our studio instead of back here in our weather office. But we're cautiously optimistic. Cautiously optimistic. So, I thank the 123 of you that are still watching this evening. If you're in our northern counties under that tornado watch, we will continue to keep a very close eye on things. But we are cautiously optimistic tonight as we come to you live here on Facebook and YouTube at 9:41, almost 9:42 Thursday evening. But that is the word from here. We've got a live newscast on television. Hey, you remember television? You guys remember television? It's free. It's free. Unlike the internet connection you have. You get an antenna. You can sometimes put a paper clip in the back of your TV too. Put a paper clip in the back and get free TV. It's amazing, amazing thing. We're going to join you there at 10 on Star 64, 11 on Local 12. Obviously, we'll cut in if we need to, if anything should come up between now and then. But for now, John and Ann out.